My name's Coby, and welcome to my podcast with Willy and Rolly C.
CRollur.
Roller C.
And Willy.
And Willy Dilly.
You got a lot of animals.
Yeah, we got a lot.
A bunch of them.
You got a lot of animals?
I have no animals.
No animals?
No.
No, he has a lot of animals actually. He has people always under him where he lives at because there's a gym underneath of him. So basically, that's his animal.
Yeah. With all the yelling and screaming and grunting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do think that there's animals underneath me.
So yeah, he had to babysit all of them people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like taking a broomstick, bang on the
Mm-hmm.
bum his floor, be like, "Hey, keep quiet down there." You know.
So, what animals do you think would be right for you if you got one?
Either a gecko or a dog.
A dog?
It's gotta be one of the two.
Why a gecko?
Dude, geckos are just so adorable. They got like
They're
the
cute,
giant,
they're
like
cute.
bubbly eyes and stuff like that. Come in all kinds of different colors.
I got one question though: are geckos and salamanders in the same family?
Well,
They're reptiles?
yeah,
They're reptiles, so they are in the same family.
But is a salamander a reptile or is it an amphibian?
Yeah.
But can you be a reptile and an amphibian? Because that's what frogs are, right? Or are they fish? Are frogs fish?
I don't think frogs are fish. They were tadpoles at one point in time, so.
Well, I just wanted to point out, like a half hour before we're doing this podcast, we rescued a salamander down in the basement, and we released him over in a creek, way far back. So that's why I was wondering if
I don't
we
know.
did the right thing.
I have no idea. I didn't even know salamanders were in Ohio. That surprised me right there.
I
Watch
thought
it
it was a
not.
nude. I'm like, why
That
the fuck is
was
a
probably
pet?
somebody's pet.
I'm like, why is there a pet store animal in my basement? Now I don't want to rip his tail off just to, make sure what it is.
I mean,
Right.
if it is somebody's pet, they're definitely far from their home. But I don't know. I prefer cats and probably foxes, but foxes are technically wild. They can be domesticated, but for the most part, they are wild creatures.
They do got domesticated miniature foxes. I just don't know the name of them.
Dude, I know what you're talking about. Are they fennecs?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah, them are cute.
Like, but what's the problem with them?
Wait, regular foxes or fennec foxes?
Fennec fox.
Because I know like all foxes tend to be a little more aggressive, but
Well, yeah, you
fennec
can't just go up and
foxes,
pet them.
but fennec foxes, I guess all foxes in general just like to dig and burrow, and they're loud and smell a little bit. Definitely loud.
They pissing it, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could train them a little
I don't know. What do you think, Coby? What do you think?
Are foxes aggressive?
bit.
Is that the question?
Ones that haven't been domesticated definitely are, but the ones that aren't domesticated are a tad bit aggressive, but they're playful more.
Yeah, I feel like they're more afraid of us than anything else. Like they take off at the sight of a person before they would actually interact with it.
And believe it or not,
Before they would actually
coyotes are the same way. Like if it's one coyote, they will run from you.
It's like
but if you have like a pack of them,
Yep.
and they feel like that you're weak or you're injured, they will go after you.
I'm not a big fan of coyotes though, because like,
Well, I mean, I would pet one.
they go. I won't. They go after the creatures that I like cats, small dogs, foxes, rabbits.
Literally everything, dude.
Yeah,
They're
anything.
They're like the pests of the wild.
Pretty much. So, what do you like to do after work?
What I like to do after work?
Yeah.
First thing I do, I take my Western boots off. I put my Crocs on. I go outside, take care of the animals.
Yeah, we found out last podcast you like to wear Crocs.
What's wrong with Crocs?
I already said it.
I'm wearing Crocs right now.
Are they in off-road or on-road mode?
I'm on sport mode, dude.
Yeah.
I got the fucking strap on the.
It all depends,
right now.
dude.
I'm on sport mode. Someone takes off running, I'm chasing down.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready for this.
But you said you like to watch animals?
Yeah, I like bird watching. Like, believe it or not, like bird watching is like really fun to do. It's very peaceful, but I'll sit there on my lawn chair, drink a beer, and just see what bird and what breed goes to my bird feeders.
I can't actually.
And I really enjoy it.
I can't actually do that for like a long period of time. Like I do.
Well, I do it for like 3 hours.
I do enjoy it on occasion, but like when it comes down to it, bird watching to me is something like you see a bird, you're like, oh, cool, a bird, and then after that, to me, it's no longer fun. I don't just sit there and watch the bird for.
Well, it's not your hobby. That's the thing. Like your hobbies are boring to me. What's your hobby?
My hobbies? Well, I play video games. I
Well,
do
that's already boring to me.
You play video games too.
Well, I've been starting to play Mario, and I don't play it every day, but when I do, it's maybe.
Do you play phone games?
What's that?
Like mobile games?
No.
No. Okay.
I know one that you said you're interested in though, which is
I did a poker game, but I lost all my money.
Oh, that's still cards.
Yeah, so I was like,
well, I know he wanted to play Diablo, like the new phone Diablo one, but
when it comes out.
Yeah.
Ever.
I'm waiting for the Diablo 4 like official release for consoles and PC.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be lit.
But speaking of games like that, I remember you mentioned that you like to play realistic games. What games do you think are realistic?
Realistic games. The games that I actually like are realistic games. I like Battlefield Online because I like the fact that you gotta, when you're out on Battlefield sniping, you have to see the bullet drop, and it's more realistic than what Call of Duty is. Because when you shoot a sniper on Call of Duty, the bullet goes straight through, like anywhere in the map, it does not drop at all. On Battlefield, you can make a 400-meter headshot, but you gotta raise your scope up, inches over the person's head before you take a shot.
Because of the drop and stuff.
Yeah, it's more realistic when it comes to like shooting and how many bullets it takes to kill a person. Well, because Battlefield, it takes maybe like 4 bullets to kill a person. Call of Duty, you can like waste a whole magazine, and that's not very realistic to me.
I mean, but realism isn't the entire thing in games. Because a lot of times games are fun despite not being realistic. Like, I don't think games have to be realistic to be fun.
I don't know. What do you think, Coby?
Yeah, to add on to that, so what you were saying, well, I want the bullet drop and like I want it to feel like I'm actually shooting a real gun. So like let's just change the skin on the entire game and make it like Aliens, right? With still the same physics and everything like that, but obviously it's not realistic because you're fighting aliens, but the real physics are still there. Your bullets are still dropping and everything like that. Would you still play it?
Well, aliens are real, so yeah, I will, because that can be happening in a different galaxy far away from us.
Right.
So yeah,
I don't think saying it happens in a different galaxy counts as being real though, because you can't prove it.
No, your problem is you're going for like what's going on here on Earth. Well, but there are aliens out there, so we don't know. Like maybe Star Wars is actually real, but on a different galaxy.
Maybe not. But that's the thing, is it? If you take
the universe is really, really big.
If you take realism literally, it will take away any fun, because then you'd just be playing real life simulator.
So you're saying Mario ain't real?
Yeah. I've said that before.
Okay, you know laws of physics, right?
Yeah.
So I can kick a turtle shell and it's going to bounce off the wall.
It'll bounce off the wall and skid to a stop. It ain't going to bounce back and forth like it does in Mario.
What if it was wax floors?
It'll bounce for longer, but it won't continue to do that forever like it does in Mario.
Turtle wax?
Yeah, turtle wax. Yeah.
That's what they use that for, right?
Yeah, that's 100% what they use that for.
And actually, I think the most realistic game out there is probably Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, it is based on historical events that actually did happen, so I would believe it. I don't know.
They probably.
I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
The first one wasn't really that great.
The zombie DLC was the best part about that first one.
Yeah,
that was fun as fuck. Yeah.
You only can kill them with the headshot,
mm-hmm.
but that threw me off a little bit because I'm sitting there shooting their knees and stuff. I'm like trying to get them to fall over, and they didn't fall over.
Yeah, it had a ways to come.
Speaking of that, like what games do you guys play?
I play Minecraft with you.
I play a lot of RPGs, a lot of fighting games. I used to play a lot of first-person shooters, but then I got older and I started sucking at them. Because, dude, after you turn 18, it's a scientific fact that you lose your reaction time by half. And that's why all these pro gamers and shit are all like underage, like 17, 16, 18 years old. Is because your reaction time gets cut down so much after you hit a certain age.
I did not know that.
I get that happens, but I don't think it's a clear cut
No,
at 18.
there are like 40-year-old pro gamers, but like that's like far and few between. Most of them are streamers now.
I think it's more of a gradual, but I definitely agree that the older you get, the less reaction you have.
What fighting games you're actually playing?
What games do I play?
Yeah, what fighting games?
Oh, Smash. That's the only one I play right now. I used to play Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Z, Fighters, Tekken when I was a kid. I played Tekken, every single Tekken growing up.
You guys played Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat was a big one.
That was the game I was into when I was...
I stopped after 9 though, because then they changed how the combo system worked. They went from a dial-up to a reaction.
Well, they made this Mortal Kombat game that was like a world Mortal Kombat game where you can walk wherever, open world Mortal Kombat game, and I'm like, this game is getting stupider and stupider the more I play it. I remember know what
I know what one you're talking about. It was on the PS2.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck this game, I'm done with Mortal Kombat, and I went into Tekken.
I tried to get back into the Mortal Kombat like X and XL, and I just couldn't get it. I think it's because of the way they do the combos.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the same.
Yeah, they made it like a Street Fighter game and not a Mortal Kombat game, for sure.
And then my favorite fighting game was actually Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I was really good with, what's her fucking name? Cam?
Yeah.
Camry? Yeah, I was really good with Camry. I never won an online fight, but I could beat up computers like left and right.
Yeah, dude, when you hop online in a fighting game,
it's a different environment.
Dude, it's just crazy how good people are, like how fast they are, how much they know,
how much combos.
Yeah, like they know all the frame data. They know if you jab at the wrong time, they have 2 frames to fucking sit there and like set you up. It's crazy.
Man.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
I never won an online battle on Street Fighter.
I gave up. Street Fighter 5 is when I gave up because I couldn't win any matches once I got to a certain rank.
I think this is probably why I'm more into like RPGs and I guess some shooter games, but mostly like Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I like Destiny.
Like looter shooters.
I played the first one, but
yeah, Borderlands.
That's
a big one for me.
Like I've been recently started playing Skyrim for the first time on the Switch, and that game already pissed me off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how is that? Because is it like any different, or is it just the same game?
I don't know. I never played it on the other system. So I'm like,
from what I can tell, you got so far into the game, then walked into an area in which you were under level and died.
Yeah, basically, if you're getting hit like twice and you die,
yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, apparently you're not in.
Shout out to Dark Souls.
It's like going bear hunting, without a gun.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the game was pretty fun, but I do believe that even on the Switch, it's still the same game.
Yeah.
I know they released a version for like Xbox and PlayStation where they had mods that you could buy.
Wait, I could buy mods on
I don't
Switch?
know. I don't know if Nintendo allows that, but they might.
Well, I mean, they sell armor that,
I know like Nintendo will do like, like for Rocket League, they gave you like the Mario Kart car. Or like different games like that, they'll give you like the Luigi like themed of that version. I was wondering if Skyrim had like a Mario item of some randomness like that.
I mean, that'd be cool. I can like sit there and like go skiing through
on the
like,
PC version,
and just go right through like the enemies. That'd be pretty cool.
On the PC version, you can get World of Warcraft weapons. You can get Illidan Warglaves, the giant green swords.
So we all own a Switch. What do you guys think of other consoles?
I don't know. Like, I know that you got the PS5.
Well, I switched to PlayStation 4 after having the Xbox One and not having any friends on it. And then I had friends that played PlayStation, so I switched over. And then I went to PS5, and it's alright, but it's still, I think, just a matter of preference and what friend group you have as to which console you have.
I think the problem is, you got people that's so dedicated on Xbox, and you got people dedicated on their Sony products. And what's going to happen is you can sit there and convince your friends, go, get a PS5. They're like, no, I'm an Xbox guy. And they're not going to buy no Sony product. Now, Sony PS5s are so hard to get. People are starting to switch to the Xbox now because they want to play these new games that's only, out for those new systems.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of like Sony and Microsoft buying different gaming studios.
Well, can I ask you one question? Like, how hard was it for you to find your PS5?
And did you overpay for it?
I definitely overpaid for it, but I tried to get as close as I could. I think I went like 100 to like 150 over.
That's
because
not
I bought
so
it off
bad.
I bought it off of eBay, but I won the bid war, but I did it like at the last minute. So,
but you got a PS5, and you're like, "Hey, I got a PS5."
Yep.
And actually, I love that thing. Like, I think the PS5 is actually better than the Xbox.
My problem is buying it off of eBay means I don't have warranty at all. So Best Buy and Sony don't cover it. So when I did have a problem, I had to take it to a specialty place that charged me basically they charged me like $80 to fix it.
Jesus Christ. And that's the first series of it too, so it's gonna have all the issues.
No,
all the overheating.
The situation that happened to him was kind of fucked up, because his cat knocked the PlayStation over.
Well, the thing is I had it on the little mount that it's supposed to be on, and I had it set back against the wall, but somehow the cat got up on top of it and then pushed it off the thing.
So wait, what broke on it?
The HDMI port.
Dude, and I was just about to get into that, dude. Every single person that says they have an issue with their PlayStation, it's the HDMI port's falling out. Why?
Well, this one, I can't necessarily blame it because it was dangling by the cord when I got to it. But,
okay.
But I definitely can see how that is a problem, seeing as looking at how it's put in there. It's literally soldered in with just a couple of connections.
Can you just super glue that shit?
What?
Can you just super glue that shit?
No,
it has to be soldered onto the board. And the problem is it's micro soldered.
Well, let's say I soldered it in, then super glued it, around the the frame.
You might be able to get away with epoxy, maybe.
I don't think super glue would be. Super glue wouldn't hold. I don't think.
Well, as soon as your system would get hot, the super glue just melt away and fall right out. That's the big problem is the heat.
I see now. And that's so all the PlayStation 5s are dealing with that problem with the.
Yeah, they keep falling. Their HDMI's keep falling out or come loose or everything. I see it on Reddit all the time.
Well, I'm probably lucky then because if I had somebody install it for me at a shop, then it probably has been installed better than the factory.
Yeah, that thing ain't falling out now.
At least hopefully.
yeah,
hopefully.
Hopefully they ain't cheap out on that.
But. What game are you playing on that PS5 right now, though? You just let it sit there because you've been doing your TikTok videos.
I haven't been playing as often, but the new Borderlands spinoff, the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So that's the game. But I'm also playing a lot on the.
That game's old, isn't it?
No, it just came out. I wanted to get that, but I was like skeptical.
There was a DLC that was similar to it back in the day.
Mm-hmm. That was in the first Borderlands, wasn't it?
I think so.
With the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina.
Yeah.
I remember her on the first Borderlands, and I did a mission for her. Then after that, then I don't see her ever again. So
she comes back.
She's not so tiny anymore.
Wait, she?
I actually think
grows up.
They actually got rid of the tiny in her name. Now she's just Tina.
Oh no shit!
Mm-hmm.
So Borderlands actually made like a good storyline on every character.
In the third one, she becomes Tina, not Tiny Tina, because now she's like she's like a teenager and whatever, however old she is.
Do they show a backstory?
No. It's kind of cool though. You have a mission and you don't know who you're about to like help out, and then all of a sudden like she walks out and like you're like she looks familiar, but she looks way older, and you find out it's Tina.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my god! I gotta start getting back into video games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe I'll stick with Mario for now. Then I'll go to Borderlands.
Hello, this is future CRollur, and I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know that if you're enjoying our podcast, the best way to support us is by telling your friends. Podcasts are spread through word of mouth. The podcast is currently available on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So let your friends know where to find us. Now back to the podcast.
All right, so I want to ask, like, me personally, I play on Switch more than any other consoles. Like, I have an Xbox One, and I don't want to buy a PS5 or an Xbox. What is it? Like
Series X?
Series X. Yeah, I was like, fuck that. Because I enjoy the games better on the Switch more than I do on the future consoles.
It's a little strange to me that you play more adult and heavy console games on the Switch than the games like Mario, but
I got every Grand Theft Auto game on the Switch.
that's
Other
interesting.
than, yeah.
But
other
why-
than the,
But why is it
Family-friendly.
that you enjoy playing this on the Switch that much?
I don't know. I feel like the reason why I like the Switch so much is because I can just use the tablet and play a game. And I sit outside and bird watch, and I just play my town Switch on the tablet.
I feel that.
I definitely feel like it'd be a little hard to be outside bird watching and playing because of the sun and stuff.
Well, I mean, why do you think I die so many times on Mario?
It's too hard to see. But yeah, that is an advantage of playing on the Switch, though, is that you can take it with you.
And I don't take the game serious. Where like if I die, I'm not gonna sit there and start throwing rocks at shit, you know. And
That actually makes you play better. If you didn't know. Screaming at stuff makes you play better.
does it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna sit there and start throwing rocks. I'm like, oh, I fucking died because I'm looking at this fucking yellow bird.
You ever like
Eating
try
my
fixing
bird
something
feeder.
and you start cussing at it like crazy, and then all of a sudden it just fucking like falls into place and starts you fix it? It's the same concept.
No, I think that's how my Vizio died.
Oh shit. Or did you make it better?
I think
Well,
it
I mean,
better.
I guess technically.
Did you get a better TV after?
Not yet, but I plan to.
See?
I mean, technically, it was a piece of shit, and I should never have bought it to begin with. I cheaped out, and I shouldn't have. I should have gotten a better TV to begin with. But what do you think about like the Switch?
I love the Switch mainly because, okay, so the Xbox and the PlayStation, they all have games where I need to sit there for like a week just to learn the mechanics of the game. Like, oh, okay, if I step in this is gonna kill me. Like, oh, like if I want to make money, like I gotta go through this whole process. It's just like a whole second life almost. But with the Switch, I can get games where I can hop in the game, play a little bit, and hop off, hop in, hop off, hop in, hop off. And I don't need to like learn a million different mechanics and shit, like potion combinations, like dialogue. Oh, you don't want to say this to that person or else they'll turn against you, but you want them to like you because then they give you this item. And it's just like a whole like world you gotta like relearn just to be able to get through the game and play it. That's
That
why I like.
is
That's why I
true.
like the Switch. Is the biggest game on the Switch is Zelda Breath of the Wild, and
I love that
it's
game.
pretty self-explanatory. Like I like how I can just hop in, hop out.
I want to point out, I let him borrow it, and he still hasn't even like put it into his Switch yet.
Oh, it is officially in my Switch now.
It's there.
Officially in there. I put it in there this morning.
And I can
Have a-
beat the game anytime. I got the Master Sword, got a Hylian shield. I'm ready to
Nice.
fuck up Gandalf, or what's his name?
Ganondorf,
Gandalf.
like canon, but Ganon.
Oh, so they stole his name off of Lord of the Rings then.
I actually don't know how. Well, Lord of the Rings came before Zelda, right?
I believe so.
So
They had to
Zelda
have.
stole Gandor.
Yeah. So I mean, and Ganondorf
Gandalf.
is a dark wizard, and,
Oh my god. I'm so
So-
confused. Like, I got these two names.
and then
I'm
Gandalf's
a
a white
Lord of the
wizard.
Rings fan, so
I could
cannot-
kind of see how if they
You
they
know what?
actually took it from that, I could see them doing.
Fuck that bad guy. His name should be Gandor.
Yeah, you can kill him with a chicken in the first 5 minutes of the game. No big deal.
Yeah.
Literally.
You gonna play it?
Eventually, yeah. I haven't been on the Switch that much, so.
Well, I'll tell you what though, I'm really bad with puzzles. I had YouTube every single one of them.
I've had Breath of the Wild 3 different times physically, and I sold it every single time after like a week
Then you
because
buy
it
buy
comes back to the same thing. Is like I don't like a game where I need to know so much about it. I just want to be able to hop in, use the mechanics they give me, and then like hop out. Like that's why I like first person shooters and stuff, like because you can just go in, like I know how to aim and shoot with the controller, and I can just hop out. I don't need to know like, oh, I need this material and this material to make this, but if I make this, it's not as good as this, and blah 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 blah.
I mean, I guess I kind of like that, but I definitely agree. Like sometimes you do need a game that you can just hop in and hop out.
It's overwhelming, I should say. Yeah.
When I do play those games, I tend to focus on just that game. Like right now, I'm playing Factorio.
What the fuck is that?
I've never heard of that either.
It's a PC game in which you have to build up like this giant factory from basically nothing. Like you start mining iron and copper,
like SimCity,
coal. No, not like SimCity. It's more of a
more like a Civ, like Civilization 6.
More of a technology survival game.
Okay.
Than anything. But you mine the resources, and then you build machines that mine it for you, and then you build up machines that make other machines, and then eventually your goal is to escape the planet that you crashed on. But you have to learn about all this other stuff. You have to build all this stuff. And you have to invest a lot of time in it. And that is the only game like that I'm playing at the current moment. Every other game I play is definitely like a lighter game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to argue about something because we're like earlier in the podcast, right? We're talking about realistic games, and I just can't believe that Zoo Tycoon is not realistic.
Oh, because I said something at work. It's not though.
How is Zoo Tycoon not realistic? You're making a.
It is a fun game, though. I will give you that.
I don't consider it realistic because it doesn't follow a realistic example of how it would be to build a zoo.
How do you think zoos are made?
Money.
Yeah, you get funded by the state or the federal government to help out these animals. Like, how is that not realistic? Zoo Tycoon.
Are you paying your employees? I don't think you even have to pay your employees in the Tycoon games.
Actually, in all the Tycoon games I've ever played, you do have to pay, but
you
pay them like
$50.
You have to pay them like $50 a month, which is not an actual figure for what they.
Yeah.
And even
what's
then,
that word?
Even then,
immigrant workers.
That's one. Even then,
they're voluntary.
Even then, that's one person out of a bunch of people that you don't even have to pay.
It's like volunteering to like animal shelter and stuff.
B2 Plus, I can't fully say Zoo Tycoon because I haven't played that one, but I played other Tycoon games. I played mostly roller coaster games. I've played.
Well, those roller coaster games aren't real because half the time people just like build roller coasters over people and fall off the roller coaster stuff.
I mean, yeah, but that's completely by choice. If you want to make it realistic, you can, in a way.
But I would say maybe 80% of them don't.
Yeah. Like 10-year-old me was definitely throwing every single person that came to my park off into the abyss.
I put angry people in holes, but
yeah. You got to keep the bad customers out. It's just capitalism, bro.
You got to keep them in because you have like 600 and some guests or 1,000 guests. Don't want them to leave. All right, thank you for listening and watching CRollur and Willy.
Willie McD.
Thank you to our guest,
Coby.
See you next time. Why are you still listening? You think I'm going to sneak something in at the end, like I did on the last episode?